Yeah. I've had the time of my life. Ooh. Oh. We got the George Foreman grill. It's more like an old school type of video. These are the videos that I first started doing on YouTube, which were just like cooking, you know, and then sometimes movie reviews. It was mostly cooking. In the original days, it was just really mostly that. So we have some leftovers, some hot dogs, and the turkey meat, lunch meat is expired. Okay, but it's not green. Turkey has a robust quality about it. Yeah, it expired on 3/14, on Friday the 14th. And but it's not green. And the turkey smells wonderful, so I'm gonna make a meal out of that today. So just use what I got, like a Native American Indian would do. And waste not, want not, as the old saying goes. Now, waste not, want not is not an American credo. Obviously, there's tons of food wasted each year by picky, impulsive Americans. I'm not saying that America is specifically to blame for food waste in the world, but look at it. Look how much how much food Americans waste. I mean, a god awful amount, a sizable sum that could feed the entire world probably 30 times over. It's just because picky eaters don't want to eat something, and then they're like, oh, they have to, and then so the people who make the food, they have to throw stuff out, tons and tons of food because picky eaters and, you know, all that shit. Yeah. I think working at a cafe for about 4 years, I was appalled. Every 3 days, there was just trays and trays of shit that we threw out. And then sometimes the customers would come up and say, oh, you're throwing that all out? Oh, what about the homeless? What about the... And it was like, well, after 3 days, the food goes bad. So you have to throw... It's expired. I mean, it's, you know... So, yeah. So I put the base is going to be... There's going to be no bread, so it's going to be breadless. So the base is going to be this turkey on the Foreman grill. And then for the... Here we go. I don't mind that it's messy. I only care about that it's tasty. So I use some of this chili here. Yeah, I don't mind. So the issue here is I don't mind that it's messy as long as it's tasty. And so that's really the motto that I live by. I don't mind that it's messy. Only that it's tasty. That's the rule. So and then we have these grilled wieners from yesterday. So put the wiener. We put the 2 wieners. Oh, did we do it wrong? Well, no, we could, yeah. So we have like a lunch dinner. I don't know what we're having for dinner, but I'm just making some shit up now. I got the chili dogs. Put that cheddar on there. You want to do, put some, maybe some mustard on there? Yeah, we're just kind of inventing our own shit today. Based on some leftovers. Leftover reinvention is fraught with problematics, but it can be achieved with the right imagination. Now, I could blame women for all the pickiness in the world and why a lot of food goes to waste, but men obviously they also have their hang-ups about their food particulars, so can't just blame women for every problem in the world. That's just not going to be acceptable, right? For obvious reasons. Well, let me put. So my kind of viewpoint on the food waste in America and around the world is that freedom of choice is wonderful, but that does not include freedom of waste. So that's also not, yeah. Freedom of choice is not the same thing as freedom. It should not be equivalent to freedom of waste. Put some mustard on there. Ooh, mustardy. Yeah. Put some of that mustard. Ooh. Now we started the sandwich this process before. Okay. All right. We're gonna plug in the George Foreman grill, and it's gonna heat up and then start doing its thing on the. I guess this is like what 5 days after expiration. It still smells good. It still looks good. It's not slimy. It's not green, and so it's still good. Sometimes I think even though it's best to follow your expiration dates, you know what? Sometimes they do misprint. So sometimes. But normally speaking, I personally follow my expiration dates in work life and in just off work life. So yeah, our old neighbors, Phil and Ray. Ray is dead. She was like 86 years old. And then Phil carries on at 92 years old, barely. He had 2 strokes and kind of, well, he's a lot more mobile than somebody with 2 strokes. My grandmother is not really that mobile anymore, unfortunately, because she liked to travel a lot. So that was a big sadness in her life that she couldn't travel anymore because she was known for travel. So that was a very sad thing. It would be like, the guitar player, Peter Frampton. He gets a carpal tunnel, a hand disease, and he can't play his wonderful guitar songs anymore. It's just a sad thing. But anyways, it happens in real life to people when they get elderly. And yeah. We had to check out Phil and Ray's, even back then in their 70s, we had to watch. They would keep old ice cream, and they would buy, like, when they'd go shopping, they'd buy they were retired, so they'd buy all this Bluebell ice cream. And then so if you wanted any, you had to check the dates. And then they would buy a whole shitload of dressings, like Thousand Island, Italian, blue cheese, ranch, and then those were no good usually. They would be expired, out of expiration for months. Maybe some of that shit was out of expiration for years because they're elderly. They were just, letting things go. And they weren't like the woman from the commercial that would come in. Expired. No. Not because they had dementia necessarily or they had Alzheimer's. It was just didn't give a shit, As long as it didn't hurt them or they weren't poisoned, they just didn't give a crap, Just kept it in there. until they were forced, perhaps by a guest or maybe by themselves. Like, hey, this shit's green. You know, this shit has mold and like we need to go to the store and replace this. You know. So of course they had to be wary of food poisoning. And got that George Foreman grill going. Yeah, so gonna have a breadless lunch. No, I can unlock my hands. Yeah. Tula's eating her kibbies. Well, they're not kibbies. They're like pedigree puppy. Yeah, I think my dog got sick, my Shih Tzu Bella, before Tula came into the picture. The landscaping people, I've never seen them do this. It was like Christmas Day, and my family was away and all that. And I saw them out there. It was like on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or the day after, and they were spreading these pellets everywhere. And these like fertilizer pellets. I've never seen them before. Like these fertilizer pods, and there was like a whole bunch of landscapers in the condos, and they were just spraying that shit everywhere. And then right before the family got back from Christmas break, so my dog was dying. I even have the video where she's like dying, and she's basically having seizures and falling over, and endless bloody diarrhea and puke. And this goes on for like a day. She's like, you know, terribly sick. And thankfully I got her some water, even though she wasn't eating. And so mom got back, took her to the vet, and then they couldn't really identify the cause of the poisoning. I think it's those fertilizer pellets that they were putting, like the Miracle Grow shit, fertilizer shit underneath the bushes. That's what I think my dog ate. So it could have been a whole host of things, but da, da, da. Yeah, it was very scary. But we got Bella to the vet in time, and she'll live to make it to her 15th birthday, we hope. So, and beyond. The average Shih Tzu lifespan is 16 years. So we're hoping to make it to 20, even if that's a bit optimistic, according to the life expectancy. But we'll try to outpace the odds. And all right, is it ready, or does it need a few more? I know with the chili it would be messy, but I don't mind if it's messy, as long as it's tasty. Yeah, I'd never really seen the landscapers pour that much fertilizer pellets. I'd never even seen those circular pellets before. And so I was kind of like, when they were spreading them all around under the bushes by the pool, I was like, what the fuck? And then, I mean, I made that correlation that, you know, I'm not a veterinarian scientist, so I have no idea. Bring it down on it, yeah. Do that. Yeah, I mean, Bella could have ate a mushroom or some kind of plant that's toxic, sure. And that happens. Animals just eat shit sometimes. Yeah. Animals are hungry, they just eat shit. They don't really think about it. They're just like, hey. Is it ready? Ooh. Is it? Oh. And slide this chili on top. Slide that chili and cheese on top, Don. Get it, Don. Yeah. All right, making ourselves a wheeler mealer so that people can feel her. The dealer. No dealer. Yeah, my friend, like, when I was 20, he called this place when they had landlines. Before good cell phones. To be funny, a lot of kids at my school, since my name was Wheeler, they would call me dealer. What's up, dealer? Even though I wasn't a drug dealer. I'm still not a drug dealer, by the way. I'm still not a drug dealer. Wink, wink. So my stepdad's like the Alec Baldwin of baby boomers. Like, he's real serious and he doesn't smile very much, and he just, I just call him like Alec Baldwin. You know how Alec Baldwin's like, he gets butt hurt over everything? That's how my stepdad is. That's what kind of boomer he is. He doesn't really joke around that much. He's always has pretty much like a permanent scowl on his face, like, the Alec Baldwin type, that kind of. And so, real serious. And so my friend called up and he's like, "Hey, yo, is dealer there?" And then my stepdad's like, "Dealer? What are you talking about, dealer? Who is this?" And he's like, "Wheeler. We just call him dealer." And then he's like, "Oh, sorry." My stepdad was about to call the feds because he said dealer. "Hey, man, I'm looking for the dealer. You got some good crank? You got some good crystal?" "Yo, man, do you have the stuff?" "Oh, yeah." "You got some of the good shit?" "Yeah." All right. Well, the lunch is served. The leftover surprise, let's call it. Wow. With the iced tea.